Australia, always ahead of the curve when it comes to international cricket. The official World Cup schedule is going to be reworked. A lot of matches are going to happen and we don't know when that reworked schedule will happen. But we do know one thing. Australia's preliminary World Cup squad, they become the first nation to announce their World Cup squad. Talk about professionalism, talk about clear-mindedness, talk about the path that they want to take. So drum rolls please. Here is the preliminary World Cup ODI squad for the 5-time world champions Australia. So this is the preliminary squad. Now remember, changes can be made until end of September. Australia will trim it down to 15 by early September and then they will trim it down till 29th. After that, if they want to make any kind of changes, they need the approval of the ICC Technical Committee. So here is your World Cup squad, preliminary ODI World Cup squad for Australia, with changes which will come towards the first week of September. Pat Cummins, Alex Carey, Aaron Hardy, Josh Ingles, Tanveer Sangha, Marcus Stoinis, Sean Abbott, Nathan Ellis, Josh Hazelwood, Mitchell Marsh, Steve Smith, David Warner. Yes, Warner still holds his place. Ashton Agar, Cameron Green, Travis Head, Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Stark and Adam Zampa. Who are we missing in this particular situation? Have you guessed who is the major omission in this? Yes, it is a certain Marnus Labuschagne, Steve Smith's understudy and his apprentice, because Steve Smith, if you have to look at it, he is there, he was expected to be there, but we all thought that Pat Cummins might struggle to be fit in time for the ODI World Cup. But now there is an update even on Pat Cummins' situation. So why no Marnus Labuschagne? Why did the Australians not want to pick him despite having a good start in his ODI career? Because Marnus Labuschagne, if you look at his career statistic, he averages 31 with a strike rate of 82. In just his 6th ODI, he had scored a century against South Africa and Potchefstroom. But then what happened? In the next 14 ODI innings, Labuschagne averaged just 22 with a strike rate of 69. For Australia's lofty standards, that wasn't enough. And you could see that he clearly struggled even in the ODIs that was played in India as well. So Marnus Labuschagne is the big omission from this ODI preliminary World Cup squad. So remember, Australia are not going by reputation, they are going by performances, and that is why they are the best team that is there at this moment. Now there is a feat which is loading for them I'll explain at the end of this video. Now no Marnus Labuschagne, last 14 ODI innings, 22 average, 69 strike rate, not good enough. Now, what is the situation regarding Pat Cummins? The initial report stated that Cummins might be racing against time to be fit for the ODI series against India. But now, George Bailey, who is the chairman of selectors in Australia, he stated, Cummins has an undisplaced fracture of his left radius, which requires, and this is important, 6 weeks of rehabilitation. So 6 weeks means after August, he'll miss entire August, and then there is a hope that he could be ready from the second week of September. Because remember, the ODI series, the 5-match ODI series that will happen against South Africa, that begins from September 7th. After that, they will come to India for a 3-match ODI series. 3 T20Is, 5 ODIs and 3 ODIs against India. So they are hopeful that Cummins could be ready by the middle of the South Africa ODI series. So this is one major update. So Cummins will join the squad in South Africa, but he will not play maybe the first or the second T20 ODIs. He will then try and be fit for the third ODI. After that, he will try and prepare for the India series accordingly. So his left wrist fracture is not as bad as we had expected it to be, but 6 weeks out, it is a real touch and go situation for Pat Cummins when it comes to the World Cup. Will he get that much of game time? Will he get as much of practice as he can? It remains to be seen. But 6 weeks, definitely full August, he's not there. He's also missing half of September. Maybe he could be there for the third or the fourth ODIs that Australia play against South Africa. But now you must be wondering, who are the two new fresh faces in the Australian cricket team that has been included in the squad, and they might play the South Africa ODIs? Tanveer Sangha. Now, who is Tanveer Sangha? Tanveer Sangha is a 21-year-old leg spinner who plays for New South Wales. And he's played for the Sydney Thunder in the Big Bash League, and he's had a decent amount of success even in the Sydney Thunder franchisee. This is not the first time that he's been picked in the Australia squad. Remember, when Australia went to New Zealand for a 5-match T20I series in 2020, at that time, New Zealand won 3-2, but Tanveer Sangha was there in the Australian team. But unfortunately, after that, he suffered a stress fracture on his back. He missed a significant portion of cricket, but now he's in the reckoning. So if he's picked in the South Africa ODIs, let's see how he performs in that. So this is about Tanveer Sangha. Now, who is the other new fresh face in the Australian team? Aaron Hardy. Now, Aaron Hardy is a 24-year-old all-rounder who plays for Western Australia. He has played for Perth Scorchers in the Big Bash League and has impressed with both bat and ball. Remember, he hit 174 in first-class cricket. He averages nearly 40 there. So, Aaron Hardy, he's been picked in the Australia A squads. He was even there in the South Africa squad also when Australia had toured there. So, Hardy has been there in the Australian setup for quite some time, especially in their A team. But whether he gets a chance in the South Africa ODI series, it remains to be seen. So, what is the preliminary squad? This is just a squad that has been announced. So, Australia will trim their 18-man squad. You saw in that list, there were 18 members. They will trim it down to 15 because the ICC will want a 15-member squad for the World Cup. So, they will trim their squad from 18 to 15 in early September. And then changes can be made to the squad until September of 28. Remember, this point is very, very important for all the teams. So, you announce a preliminary 18-man squad, you can make changes until September 28th, which is the last week heading into the World Cup. But anything after September 28th, you will have to ask the ICC technical committee, then and only then it will be approved. So, India can pick the squad on September 5. Same with South Africa, Pakistan, West Indies, England. They all can pick until September 5. But they can make changes to the squad until September 28th. And that is why this point is very, very important. Now for the South Africa ODI series, what's going to happen? Mitchell Marsh will captain Australia in the SAT20Is. Glenn Maxwell will miss it because he is on paternity leave. He's going to become a father soon. So we wish Glenn Maxwell congratulations in advance, and one hopes that he can come back and give Australia some glory. Maybe he can be the captain in case Pat Cummins does win the World Cup this time. It will not just be their 6th World Cup, but they will be doing an unprecedented treble. World Test Championship final, Ashes, and now World Cup. It's a feat which few nations can emulate. And many people, including one of our family members, Satish Bey, he stated that if in this World Cup final, it's going to be Australia and England, one of those teams are lifting the trophy. How accurate is that going to be? Looking at this World Cup squad, are you surprised? Is Australia sticking to their core? My gut feeling is they have picked the core team and they have played along for most of the time. So they look settled, they look balanced. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and don't forget we are on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram as well. Thank you.